Hello everyone, I'm Roseta Patatanian and I am a PsyD Clinical Psychology doctoral candidate at the Chicago School of Professional Psychology Los Angeles campus. My research is to study the effectiveness of mindfulness applications on stress reduction. I became interested in this topic due to my interest in mindfulness originally. I have used and recommended mindfulness apps in my personal and professional life. Mindfulness has been extensively researched along with mindfulness-based stress reduction and mindfulness-based cognitive therapy. These have shown positive results in reducing psychological symptoms and increasing overall positive well-being. However, in this growing area of technology and psychology, specifically mobile applications, the literature is limited. I wanted to research the effectiveness of mindfulness applications because I wanted to add to the literature in this area. With this study, I wanted to have limited exclusion criteria to reach a wide audience, especially since we were in the middle of a pandemic. I also wanted to study adults and not just college students, as stress does not just end when you graduate and can lead to major health problems. A 15-item demographic questionnaire and the Depression Anxiety Stress Scale 21, or DAS-21, was used. Upon completion of data collection, there were 2,131 completed surveys included in my study. Of that, about 80% had a mindfulness app downloaded and were considered to be in the target group. And 15% or 332 participants did not have a mindfulness app downloaded and were considered to be in the control group. It was hypothesized that those in the target group who had a mindfulness app downloaded would report lower stress levels. After analyzing the data on SPSS, separate independent t-tests were done just so I could check the three different areas of stress, depression, and anxieties within the DAS-21. I also did another t-test just to see the DAS total. And then the results demonstrated that those who use a mindfulness app actually reported higher levels of not only stress, but depression, anxiety, and total scores on the DAS. I had further post-hoc questions just to understand more about app use and reported symptoms within these groups. These further analyses showed that there was no difference in gender and mindfulness app use, and that there was a correlation between time spent using a mindfulness app and levels of stress, depression, and anxiety. Finally, I wanted to understand what factors influence the probability of an individual having a mindfulness application downloaded. The logistic regression demonstrated that being in therapy was associated with an increased likelihood of having a mindfulness app downloaded, while education level was associated in a reduction in the likelihood of having one downloaded. Ethnicity was also shown to be a significant predictor in having a mindfulness app. Due to my hypothesis being proven false, and those who did have a mindfulness app downloaded reported higher levels of stress, these additional post-hoc questions may have shown possibilities as to why. This may imply that those in therapy are being recommended these applications or seeking further support in this area, so they are more likely to download these applications. It's my opinion that future research may be able to help answer some of these additional questions that have come up from my findings. I'm also hoping that this research continues interest in studying mindfulness applications. These apps may be a great method of learning mindfulness techniques and doing at-home practices. They may be useful to those in areas where not only resources are limited or too expensive, but might just not be needed, as people can really practice these independently. It may be something other health professionals may be able to recommend, such as nurses or doctors. These apps can be a way of managing stress before it increases, becomes long-term, and causes other psychological or health concerns. Some of the limitations to my research were that the target group who had a mindfulness app downloaded was significantly larger than the control group, as well as the rates of stress may be different when the data was collected, since we were in the middle of a pandemic and other factors that might have contributed. That is my research. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate you taking the time. Thank you.